council meeting for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan, the second day of March 2022 at 7:05 p.m. Councillor Kalfa.
Here.
Councillor Rutledge.
Here.
Okay. Okay, adoption of the agenda. We have a resolution that says that the council of the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan adopt the agenda as amended to include section 8.13 firefighter certification. Do I have a mover on that? Councillor?
I will move.
Councillor Belfeld, do I have a seconder?
I'll second
Councillor Rutledge. Any questions? If none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Councillor Rutledge?
it. Was that 1-3?
2,
1-2?
just 2. Got it?
I don't know where we're at here, sorry.
Number 2, John?
Oh, yeah, I know
Adoption.
that's what you're going on, but where's the,
The resolution?
adopt,
It's the adoption of the agenda, number 2.
yes, okay, yes.
Okay, so all in favor, Councillor Belfeld said in favor? Yes, okay, so that's carried.
Sorry.
That's okay, John. Okay, we're down to number 3. Disclosure of pecuniary interest, with any of the matters before us tonight.
None on my part.
No.
None. Okay, so none. We're down to delegations, presentations. We had one, that was the Renfrew County delegation, but they will not be with us tonight. I think we have a resolution. Okay, that says the council of the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan defer this delegation until further information is available. Do I have a mover on that? Councillor? Councillor Rutledge, seconder, Councillor Kaufeld, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's carried. We're down to number 5, adoption of the minutes from previous meetings. The resolution says that we, the council for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan, hereby adopt the minutes of the regular council meeting of February the 2nd, 2022, and the special council meeting on February 22nd, 2022, as circulated. Do I have a mover on that? Councillor?
Yeah, I'll move
Councillor Rutledge, seconder.
I will second.
Councillor Kaufeld. Any errors or omissions?
I looked through, I couldn't see any.
it.
Okay.
I would say that.
Okay, so all in favor then of the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and that's carried. Down to number 6. We have reports on direction received. And the resolution says that we, the council for the corporation of township Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan, hereby accept the reports as circulated. So I need a mover on that.
I'll move it.
Councillor Rutledge, a seconder.
I will second.
Councillor Kaufeld. Okay. I guess before I asked for a vote, I should go through individual reports. Or I guess we
So
can.
through the mayor, they've been on the agenda.
Okay, so all in favor of the reports?
Yes, fine.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that's carried.
Resolution for 6.2.
Okay, did any council have any questions on 6.1 or comments? I know this was a,
Yeah, I was just surprised to see that more people went to the Bill Lou very big because they're using library.
Yeah.
Which is good.
yeah, actually, I'm really surprised at the number of active participants.
Yeah,
In both locations.
maybe let the public know.
Yeah, so I know Councillor Rutledge had said about how many participants, you know, at the public libraries that we have, and staff has brought us back with some numbers. So the Killaloe Public Library has 162 active patrons. which we're a member of, and that represents 10% of their total membership. Madawaska Valley has 55 members from BLR, and then of course it's broken down. So yeah, no, it just goes to show that it's nice to see our libraries are being used.
Yep.
So, okay. Item 611. So yeah, that's the filling council vacancy that was brought back with a direction given to staff as far as filling the council vacancy, and that was brought on February the 22nd. Policy procedure for filling the 2 council seats. Of course, we'll be discussing this more in detail once we get down to 8.1. Item 6.2 is a report on legal costs. There's a resolution. Okay, so that the council of the corporation of Brudenell, Lindnock, and Raglan defers this report to the April 6, 2022 regular meeting to ensure all costs have been captured. So I need a mover on that resolution. Councillor Rutledge, a seconder.
I'll second.
Councillor Calfell. Any comments on the resolution before I call for the vote? I know there are still some costs yet to come. Initial cost award is still pending, so if we have that for our April meeting, it will be shared at that time. So the resolution, if anybody has anything else,
There's not much we can do.
so just wait.
Wait.
Okay, so all in favor of the resolution?
Yes.
Okay, so that's carried. We're now down to correspondence. The resolution says that we, the council for the corporation township, Brudenell, Lindnock, and Raglan, hereby accept the correspondence as circulated. I need a mover on that. Councillor.
I will move.
Councillor Calfell, the seconder.
I'll second it.
Councillor Rutledge. All in favor of the correspondence, I'll call for vote.
Yes.
There, okay. So what I will do, and that's carried, sorry. What I'll do is I'll go through singularly through the correspondence, and if the council has any questions about them, we can talk about them. So the first one, 7.1, is municipal rights of way in the telecommunications industry. Any comments on that?
So is that just the new company that's? I'm trying to get it up here. To make my-
So if I may, for the mayor, basically it's introducing a service that they provide as a consultant.
Okay.
It's not a requirement.
Questions? Council?
No, I really.
Okay. 7.2, Association of Municipalities of Ontario, LASE permitting RFP selection, request for proposal selection and municipal pilot project opportunity. When I look at it, the opportunity is e-permitting for building permits possible.
So Andrew, do you know if anybody else is doing that yet?
So through the mayor, I know another municipality that has reviewed this and is going in the direction. So if council would like me to bring back a report, the way in which you do it is what we'd be looking at.
So is the resolution effect to order direction to staff?
Through the mayor, what I would suggest is that something can be brought forward at the next meeting requesting the giving direction to staff for the resolution of the next meeting.
Yeah, okay. Item 7.3, community safety and well-being plan. Basically, it's a letter from the Solicitor General for thanking us for completing it as part of completing the community safety and well-being plan for the townships of South Algonquin, BLR, Killdeer, Richardson, West Valley. Questions from?
None on my part.
No, no, no.
7.4, dissolving the Ontario Land Tribunal. Any questions on that? Yeah. no problem.
So does this mean that they're dissolving that they're just going to go after the municipality, or who's going to make a decision?
So basically, when I read some of the resolutions, I think what they're asking for is us to support a resolution to dissolve the Ontario Land Tribunal. So the land tribe, and I'm welcome to be corrected by Andrew, but the land tribunal typically, if an appeal is filed, it goes to the land tribunal in a.
So through the mayor, you're correct. And basically what these municipalities are asking for is to streamline the process.
Yes, okay.
My things weren't coming up. I had to get my mouse on.
Yeah, mine were a little slow too, so. So,
So through the mayor, these aren't action items, but if council would like to send a letter or to send a resolution that you support those letters, you can do that too. That would have to be a separate resolution.
yeah,
I think through the mayor, I do have 6 or 5 fairly large municipalities that are already sending something. I don't think they need a lot of support from.
yeah, and plus, I know reading through it, I know when I go down the page. And one of their parts of their resolution says, no, therefore be resolved that the council will see with thorough request of Government Ontario to dissolve the OLT immediately. So I guess the question is, what is the alternative?
Well, the alternative is to not have that process.
Yeah. Is this something council wishes to send a letter to, or?
No, I kind of agree with Andrew. So,
Yeah, they're a lot bigger municipalities.
Yeah.
Okay, item 7.5, Canadian Nuclear Laboratories seeking support. Questions on it? Council thoughts?
Well, I got a little bit of problem with this. Because, okay, one bee can sting me, I can stand it, but 1,000 stings that, or whatever, something like something that's nuclear, they just brought tons and tons of stuff from Garland up a few years ago. And now, they're adding more and more to our area. And I know that there's all kinds of safeguards and that they put in there to try to protect that, but I still have a bit of a problem with them because, like I said, a little bit, and it starts to add up.
So through the mayor, they're asking for support by April 11th, so there's no action required. I would say that one of the council would like to bring a motion forward or not bring a motion forward,
Yeah.
we do it at the next meeting.
Uh, 7.6, funding support for infrastructure projects. So there's a couple of resolutions there for council to look at and consider, I guess. Council wish to follow up with. I guess for myself, the resolutions are rather open-ended. And when I say that, I kind of, I read it, it says provide more funding for rural municipalities for infrastructure projects related to major bridge and culvert replacements.
Yeah.
So for us, I think the county looks after all the bridges and major culverts, so. Nothing else?
No.
Okay.
No.
7.7, proposed planning tariff or fee bylaw. So, so with the attachment, this is coming around to municipalities, but what was decided at county council. Some of the municipalities were wanting individual municipalities to kind of review the proposed tariff or fee bylaw for feedback of what I guess I could take back to the county for the municipality. One of the biggest points of discussions was a new fee that is proposed by the county to implement a fee of $200 for general inquiries. So basically, you get charged a general inquiry $200. If you do go ahead with your application, you get the $200 in credit back. So the thought is from some members of county council, they thought that maybe this could possibly discourage severances. A lot of the proposed fee increases are directly related to the amount of staff time it takes to prepare. And some of the new fees are in relation to, since we've been given since the official plan has been passed, it gives us the county more responsibilities. So all the fees are usually updated every 3 to 4 years in correlation with what it actually costs to provide this service. So I don't know if council has any other questions for me on the proposed planning tariff fee bylaws.
I don't.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay, so we're down to new business. And the policy, item 8.1 is the policy for filling vacant seats. So, and there's a resolution attached to it. And it's a long one, so I guess I'll. So, council for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lyndoch, and Raglan decided to fill the 2 vacant Ward 2 councillor positions by appointment. And following this process, applications will be received by the office of the municipal clerk using the required form by no later than 12 p.m. on Friday, March 11th, 2022. The municipal clerk will confirm the eligibility of applicants and provide them with the council questionnaire. Written responses to the council questionnaire are due to the office of the municipal clerk but no later than 12 p.m. on Monday, March 14th, 2022. Applicants will be interviewed one at a time at a special meeting of council to be held on March the 16th, 2022 at 7 p.m. And the formal appointment will follow should council select individuals to fill the seats. Newly appointed members will take their oath of office at the meeting. Be it resolved that council adopts the following process for filling the vacant seats. During regular office hours, candidates must file with the clerk or the clerk's designate completed application and declaration of qualification forms and provide proof of name and qualifying address. It is a responsibility of the candidate to ensure that they meet all the qualifications and file a complete application. If satisfied that a person is qualified pursuant to the Municipal Act 2001 and the Municipal Elections Act 1996, the clerk shall certify the application by signing the application form. If not satisfied that person is qualified pursuant to the Municipal Act 2001 and the Municipal Elections Act 1996, the clerk shall reject the application and give notice to the person as soon as possible. The clerk's decision to certify or reject an application is final. Applications may be withdrawn by the candidate by filling the withdrawal in writing with the clerk. There will be a deadline for filing. All eligible applicants will be given the council questionnaire. Each applicant will be evaluated based on the response to the council questionnaire and when interviewed. Members of council will vote to fill one of the vacant seats and then the second. In the event council is not able to fill one or both seats, an alternative method of selection may be chosen by council. Questionnaire will consist of tell us what you know about the role of council and good effective governance. There is less than a year until the next municipal election. What one thing do you believe is important for council to accomplish in that time? And question 3, you have been appointed to represent Ward 2. A group of your constituents are proposing a project and want your support. The project is not in the best interest of the township as a whole. How will you handle the situation? What motivates you to put your name forward to sit on council at this time? 5, describe to us your future vision 10 years from now of the township. What will be different from today, if anything? 6, explain what you believe is the most important ethical value a member of council should consistently demonstrate. So I need a mover on that. Councillor Kaufeld, seconder. Councillor Rutledge. Any questions on the resolution?
No, yeah, it's kind of, it's what we discussed at the last meeting.
Yeah, I believe it definitely encompasses most of the what we asked of staff to prepare. So,
Through the mayor, if you do not want all 6 of those questions, if you want to break it down to 3 questions, you're more than able to do that if you so wish.
Okay.
We had discussed keeping it at 3 questions at the last meeting, so these are just some options for you to choose from.
Okay.
I actually like them all. Personally, that's just my opinion. We thought only 3 or 4 questions, but it's 2 more.
I guess for me, I didn't see duplication in the 6 questions, so that's important.
Yeah, I feel like no,
Yeah, okay. So I'll call the vote. All in favor of the resolution?
Yes,
So that's carried. Item 8.2. We have a resolution, National Wall of Remembrance Association. So that we, the council for the Corporation of Township Brudenell, Lindbach, and Raglan, hereby support placing a business card advertisement in the 9th edition of the National Wall of Remembrance Association digital yearbook at a cost of $319 plus tax. I need a mover on that. Councillor,
I will move.
Councillor Kaufeld, seconder, Councillor Rutledge. Any questions on the resolution?
I think we've done this previously, so.
yeah.
every year, so.
So all in favor then of the resolution?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay, that's carried then. Item 8.3, request of road allowance usage, Jason Stevens, and of course we have the letter of request. Council's thoughts on this?
no, I don't have a problem with, oh, just one question, was this the one that by, like,
yes,
yeah, that's part of that one,
Yeah.
we can access to that.
I guess so. My thought is there some conditions we should be adding to that allowances?
So when you look at allowing work to take place on a road allowance, one concern a council can have is precedence. Another one is liability. That's a condition which in this letter states that he's willing to take the liability, so he would have to prove to the municipality that he has proof of insurance for liability that happens on that part of the road. That would be certainly always the most important thing for a municipality, is to have a proof. Another thing that we're looking at is when you take a landlocked property and you get a limited access to the property, council needs to be aware or put controls in for the development of that property. So for example, if the person built a year-round home, or you give permission to build a year-round home, now you have an access that was limited, but you have to supply now a road for fire and for plowing. So condition would be, you know, that the council would want that there's no permanent residence built on the property. And building permit will not be issued. Without, you know, if they go through with it, the proper road in and change everything, but this would not allow for permanent residence. That's just a suggestion.
I've
Like,
seen,
aren't those,
I've seen that in other municipalities, I think it's, I forget the top, Snake Bridge Road, they've got signs up in the municipality there, but it's not a big road.
So that would be the responsibility in regards to liability of the person that owns it. But what council wants to make sure is that nothing's ever going to happen without the road being improved. The other exceptional thing with this particular one is that it's right on the borderline between the municipalities. So 33 feet is in our township and 33 feet is in the township of Montreal Valley. But again, he's only asking to use our side because that's what the property is. And he's just looking to be able to, from my conversation with the director. And he just wants to cut down a few trees to do that. But once you start cutting trees down, you can't control who goes in it because it's not private right.
That's right.
So if we're going to allow some improvements, the township should not be responsible for liability. So the two suggestions, one, that you limit what can be done to the property. And you also control that there has to be liability. So staff can do an agreement or a letter up to that effect. And I would suggest that you do a letter as opposed to an agreement.
Yeah. Is that sounding?
well, just, I'm a little confused, so those concessions, are they not there for people to access their property if they got no other way in?
Yes. And
So through the mayor, generally there's what's called an unopened road allowance.
Okay,
So an unopened road allowance, generally people can use it, but they can't make improvements to it.
okay,
Because any improvements that are made to it become a liability for the township. So if you, for example, made a little road through it and you had a stump sticking up and some person riding along an ATV and they flip over the ATV, who are they going to sue? The township may not even know that that was done. So in this case, this person's asking for permission, and if you give permission, you're saying that you have to prove that you have liability insurance for that, and that liability has to cover anybody who's used the road. So that's a condition that that person would have to provide. But generally, unopened road allowances, you don't make improvements on.
so he can never build in there?
So through the mayor, that's not what we're saying. We're saying that
Okay,
the access that he's created isn't one that the township is going to assume and build into a proper road.
okay,
It's just the access to get his little truck in there, and I think he uses a hand can or whatever, but not to build a road. Because if you allow that to be a permanent residence in there, then you have to provide the services that you provide other residents.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're limiting what can be done with that property and the access that's there that you permitted.
Yeah, because if in the event if he ever did want to build a permanent residence, then he would have, of course,
get the road up to standard,
Yeah,
but he's still using a certain portion of the road.
If he built it up to standard, he would, but
Yeah,
again,
Yeah.
but he would have to come back to the township, so it's, when he goes through that process himself, it's going to be governed not only by us, but by the bank that provides a mortgage. You don't have access to your house, I'm not gonna give you a mortgage, things like that, so the two things that you need to protect is what can be done on the property and what is the liability of the municipality. So that's, if you can protect those two things, in this particular case, because it's a really limited access,
yeah.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
So I guess what I'm asking now is if he wanted to build in there, would he be able to eventually do that if he went through
Yes.
all the channels?
Yes.
So through the mayor, the same as anyone else could do it on an open road line, so you just have to apply again.
That's right. Yeah. Just right now, it's his responsibility as far as just accessing his property, so. I think that's an important thing to include in the letter.
Yeah.
What Andrew has suggested.
You know, I was just thinking down, further down the road in the future, if, you know, if he ever did want to build.
And he would be able to. Yeah.
So through the mayor, if I can just suggest to the clerk for a resolution that council directs the CAO, or the municipal manager to send a letter to Jason Stevens, providing him with permission to do improvements on the unopened road allowance with the conditions that he proves liabilities all council
Providing permission to do improvements on the road now.
unopened road allowance. Providing that he provides the township with adequate proof of liability insurance. And further, that this permission does not permit at this time the construction of a permanent residence.
Okay, so the resolution in regards then to item B3 reads like this, that the council of the corporation of the township of Rutland, Raglan hereby directs the municipal manager to draft a letter to Jason Stevens, providing him with permission to do improvements on the unopened road allowance, providing that he provides the township with adequate proof of liability insurance, and further that his permission does not permit at this time the construction of a permanent residence. So any mover on that, Councillor? Councillor Rutledge, seconder. Councillor Kaufeld, we've already had discussion, so all in favor?
Yes.
Yes, and that's carried. Okay. Excuse me, item 4, information, RE Shoreline Road Allowance Application, and there's a resolution that we, the council for the corporation of township of Brunel, Lindnock, and Raglan, hereby accept the Shoreline Road Allowance Report regarding Paddler's Co-op as information. Any mover on that, Councillor?
I will move.
Excuse me, Councillor Kaufman, seconder, Councillor Rutledge. Discussion if any.
No, here.
Okay, all in favor of the resolution?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay, that's carried. Item 8.5, severance. That the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lyndoch and Raglan approve the land severance application number B165/21 from Joseph S. Keel and Joseph H. Keel for the creation of one new lot with the condition that all the conditions as listed in the county of Berkeley planning report concerning this division of land are met. I need a mover on that. Councilor,
I will move.
Councilor Kaufeld, seconder,
I'll say it.
Councilor Rutledge, discussion if any.
No, fine.
No?
No questions on that?
Okay,
No, when they are on it.
so I'll call for the vote then. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
And that's carried. Item 8.6. The resolution says that council of the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lyndoch and Raglan accept this report, and council directs the municipal manager to contract CWM and request to provide a formal contract for services reflecting the rate increase, and that this matter be brought to council at the April 6, 2022 regular meeting. Any mover on that, Councilor?
I will move.
Councilor Kaufeld, a seconder.
yes, I'll second it.
Councilor Rutledge, discussion on the report to council, if any. So yeah, it's Canadian Waste Management for those that are listening, and they're looking for a 5% increase. And it's all related to, of course, insurance, fuel and maintenance. So does council have any other questions or comments?
No, I didn't think it was too bad an increase, really.
Unfortunately, it might be just the start of things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for everything. So all in favor of the resolution?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's carried. And we're down to the fire chief's report. We have a resolution that the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lyndoch and Raglan accepts the fire chief report as presented and directs the treasurer to include the 2001 GM Top Cat tanker purchase in the 2022 capital budget. Do I have a mover on that?
I will
Councilor,
move.
Councilor Kaufeld, seconder.
Yes,
Councilor Rutledge, and now I will ask if there are any questions on the resolution.
this was a one for the money for the tanker, is that the one? Yeah.
The resolution or the report?
The report, I think it's what we're looking at.
For the mayor, this is just an update from the fire department as to our statistics from last year in general.
Yep.
And that because the truck wasn't purchased in last year's budget, that we forward that purchase to the 2022 budget.
So, yeah, so the money was deferred from last year to this year, so
That's what we're
it's always
requesting.
there.
Okay, so I'll call for a vote on the resolution then. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's carried. I would ask if council has any questions. I know Jordan's on the line. If you have any questions in regards to the fire chief's report for the 2021 summer.
No, I wish you wouldn't use percentages, use numbers.
Okay. So Jordan, are you there? Is there anything?
I'm
Is
here.
there anything you would like to comment on to staff or?
I think I've laid pretty much everything out here in a bird's eye view for you guys. Sorry for the percentages, but that's what I base my information off of. One thing to note is the M&R fire agreement that was renewed. That's all taken care of and ready to go. So we're ready for the 2022 fire season.
Okay. Yeah, I see within your report, there was, you know, some good news. I mean, you gained 8 new members and lost 2, right? So yeah.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, you have a total, complement of 30 firefighters, which is good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Just a few things for improvements and some notes there for you guys too. So
yeah,
just for your information,
yeah,
I will be bringing some other reports in front of you. So
yeah, okay. So any other questions of Jordan?
Not on my part.
I just want to take the time to publicly thank our volunteers, Jordan, for all that they do. I know it's, they do a great job for the municipality. Sometimes you don't know maybe what a volunteer fire department can do for you until they show up at your door or on your doorstep, help you out with something, so.
that's for sure. Yeah, it takes a special kind of person, and it's very humbling to see the volunteers in our community step up to the plate. So
So no other questions for Jordan?
No.
None? Okay, so we'll go down to item 8.8. We have a resolution that council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Linddoch, and Raglan directs staff to prepare the feedback management policy bylaw for presentation at the April 6, 2022 regular meeting. Do I have a mover on that? Counselor? Counselor Rutledge, seconder.
I will second.
Counselor Calfell, discussion on the resolution, if any.
No.
Okay, so I'll call for a vote then. All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, that's carried. Item 8.9. That council for the corporation of township of Brunel, Linddoch, and Raglan directs staff to prepare the bylaw to establish levels of service for presentation at the May 4th, 2022 regular meeting. Any mover on that? Counselor?
I will move.
Counselor Calfell, the seconder. Counselor Rutledge, discussion on the resolution, if any.
No.
Yeah, well, this is the one where the levels of service, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, what's operations level mean when you say for ice water rescue?
If I may, we're
Yes,
gonna get to the fire department one. This levels of service one is just establishing the level of services for the municipality.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so any more questions then on establishing levels of service resolution? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Yes.
And that's carried. Item 8.10, repairs. Okay, so the resolution is for repairs or replace for Paramore Rapids Garage heat source. But the council of the corporation township of Brunel, Linddoch, and Raglan accepts this report for replacement of the furnace as presented. Further, council authorized the Brown Lake Heating and Air Conditioning to install a new standalone propane heater in the amount of $7,622 plus HST. I need a mover on that. Counselor?
I will move.
Counselor Kaufman, seconder.
Yeah, second.
Counselor Rutledge, discussion on the resolution. If any.
No, we gotta read.
They have to have the.
Well, that's the thing, and I know when I look through the options, option number 4, which I think is the one. How?
There's no quotes on them.
What's that?
There's no quotes on those options.
No, but I think this was the most viable one for sure. So any more questions on the resolution? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote then. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
And then that's carried. Item 8.11. The council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Linddoch, and Raglan hereby accepts the draft bylaw to establish regulating fire department services and directs staff to proceed with sending the draft bylaw to the Ministry of Attorney General for review. May I have a mover on that? Councilor Rutledge, a seconder.
Yes.
Councilor Calfell, discussion on the resolution.
This is your.
So, questions on the draft bylaw? Did you have a question, John?
No,
On that one?
no.
Okay, so I'll call for a vote on the resolution then. All in favor?
Yes,
Carried. Item 8.12. Chief Building Official.
oh, you got ahead of me here somewhere.
Oh,
Sorry. Regulating services, is that the one you just did?
yes.
No, I did have a question.
Okay.
On this water rescue operation, what does that mean, operations level?
So through the mayor, that is one of three levels now. It's worded differently than the past, John, and so there's an awareness level, operations level, and a technician level. Obviously, you get into the higher end levels, it's more involved. The operations one more of a central, kind of what we're geared towards. The only thing that we're lacking, and again, I will be bringing a report forward on that, is some sort of a boat. It could be an inflatable boat or motorized boat, but I will be bringing a report on that one.
Well, I'm not in favor of that at this time.
So what are you in?
Of operations level, if you're talking boat and that,
So there will be a report coming more on this, and that's all I'm gonna speak on tonight for that.
So through the mayor, you can ask for more information to come forward to the next meeting, or you can take the vote,
So we already did take the vote.
which you've done, so would it be, you already passed it,
Yeah.
so you did the motion to rescind. But
Yeah.
I think when you're, if the council's comfortable to bring back more information, just direction to staff in
Okay.
the next meeting.
yeah, fine with that, you?
So that will just be noted in the minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't need a resolution for that.
No,
And this is for the April meeting?
for the April 6th meeting.
Yeah.
but before we leave that, is this where we could ask for like a 15-year fire plan? For the budget, or is that going to be something new?
So this is kind of an establishing, regulating our fire department services. I guess what you could do in that regards, if it's a new request from staff, you would have to ask staff to put it on a future agenda.
So through the mayor, for the next meeting, because we're going to deal with the progress, I think, but if the council brings forward the information to staff prior to the meeting, then you be able to put something into the agenda.
So basically, John, what you have in our new procedure bylaw, Schedule D right on the back, there's a request to place a matter on council meeting agenda form. If you fill that out and then present that to staff,
All right,
that issue will be placed on the next agenda.
okay,
Okay? So now we'll get back to item 8.12. The Council of the Corporation of Township of Brudenell, Lindmark, and Raglan hereby accept the chief's building officials report as circulated, and the information report is for council, of course, so I need a mover on that resolution. Councilor,
I can move.
Councilor Council, seconder,
yeah, second.
Councilor Rutledge, any question on the resolution?
No,
Okay, so all in favor of the resolution,
yes,
Yes,
then that's carried. Down to item 8.13. That the council of the corporation of the township of Bruno, Lindau, and Raglan authorizes the mayor to sign the letters presented by the fire chief on firefighter certification to be sent to the Honorable Sylvia Jones, Solicitor General of Ontario. Do we need a mover on that? Councillor Councillor Rutledge, seconder.
I can move.
Councillor Calfeld. Any questions on the resolution? I think,
So through the mayor, the letter is not on the agenda because we just got it today.
okay,
If, like the clerk or the mayor or myself could read that letter to council, if council would accept that. Basically, the letter is in regards to the cost of firefighter certification
yes,
and to ask the Honorable Sylvia Jones to consider some changes to make it easier and smaller fire departments.
mhm, okay, okay. So, if you want, go ahead.
Regarding firefighter certification, and it's addressed to the Honorable Sylvia Jones. Dear Solicitor General Jones, the Municipal Council for Brudenell, Lindau, and Raglan Township has reviewed the draft regulations regarding firefighter certification and provides the following response. More consultation with small rural municipalities is necessary for the ministry to fully appreciate the effects such regulations will have on municipalities' budgets, fire services, and recruitment. New certification regulations should ensure that municipalities are not burdened with unnecessary costs to retrain volunteer firefighters who have been adequately trained to the level of service set by council. Added training must not serve as an impediment for those who wish to volunteer as firefighters. Council may be required to reduce our level of service if we are not able to maintain our complement of volunteers. If levels of service have to be reduced, the safety of our residents could be impacted. Municipalities must be provided with some form of financial support during the 4 to 6 year implementation period. The level of support necessary should be based on evidence from fire chiefs and should include the submission of detailed training needs and expected impacts. To prevent large increases to municipal budgets and to allow for financial planning, the regulatory enforced date currently July 1st, 2022 should be extended into 2023 or 2024. Your consideration on this matter would be greatly appreciated. Sincerely.
So any questions or comments on the letter? My own suggestion is that we amend the agenda, to include MPP John Yakubowski.
And then the resolution.
I think that we could do that through the mayor without adding it to the resolution.
Okay.
John Yakubowski and the county,
Yes.
and we would do review that forward too.
Sounds good.
So we can do that.
Yeah, okay.
So the mayor, there will be new letter.
The new letter, okay. So all in favor of that resolution?
Yes.
Okay, so that is carried. So now down to financial report. Item number 9. That we, the council for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lindau, and Raglan hereby accept the 2021 financial statements. I need a mover on that. Councilor,
I will move.
Councilor Council, seconder.
Well, if you give me a couple of weeks, I'll study it.
Well, and
I accept.
you second it? Okay, and saying that, I know me and Andrew briefly talked about this, and yeah, we need a little more time to look at this, so.
So through the mayor, we just accept the report and then
Yeah.
the treasurer will be able to answer questions before the next meeting.
So all in favor then?
Yes.
Yes.
That's good. We're down to bylaws. 10.1. Bylaw to adopt a human resources policy, and the resolution says that bylaw number being a bylaw to adopt the human resources policy is being deferred to the April 6, 2022 regular council meeting. I need to move on that.
I will move.
Councilor Council, seconder.
I'll second.
Councilor Rutledge, any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote then. All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, that's carried. So right now, that's the end of our open session. 11.1, the resolution says that council for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Linddoch, and Raglan go into closed session pursuant to Municipal Act 2001, Section 239, 2B, about matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and subsection E, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. I need a mover on that. Councilor.
I will move.
Councilor Council, seconder. Councilor Rutledge, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes, and that's carried. Okay, so we'll be going to closed session now. Okay. So, resolution that council of the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Linddoch, and Raglan comes out of closed session at 8:38 PM. I need a mover on that. Councilor Rutledge, seconder.
I will.
Councilor Council, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Carried. So from close, we have a resolution arising. The resolution says that the council for the corporation of Brudenell, Linddoch, and Raglan authorize staff to act on direction given regarding back taxes. I need to move around that. Councilor
I will move.
Valfeld, seconder, Councilor Rutledge. All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, yes, and that's carried. Now to confirmation bylaw, and the resolution says that council for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Linddoch, and Raglan hereby adopts bylaw 2022-12, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of March 2nd, 2022 regular meeting of council. I need to move around that.
I will move.
Councilor Council,
I'll second.
Councilor Rutledge, second, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes, and yes, and that's carried. And we're down to adjournment, that this meeting adjourn at 8:39 PM, and I only need a move.
I will move.
Councilor Council, and the meeting's adjourned.